Hello guys, hopefully you're having a good day today. This is General Mechanic. Actually, you know what, that's us right there, General Mechanics. I got this nice truck, 2003 Cadillac Escalade 6.0. We did some work on the inside fixing the blend doors and stuff, but we found out that we got a crazy leak, a crazy antifreeze leak coming from the water pump. So I'd like to share with you guys how to replace the water pump on this 6.0 engine. This is 03 Escalade. As I said, looking at the job, it's not gonna be too big of a deal to do. Of course, we gotta remove the air cleaner conduct right here. You got a flat screwdriver to use. You got two clamps to remove, one right there, one right here. On top of that, you're gonna have to remove this upper radiator hose. Okay, you're gonna have to remove the upper part of the plastic of the fan cover. Okay, you're gonna use a flat screwdriver to take those clips right there. I hope you can see it. You got two on this side, two on the other side. Okay, you got two 10mm bolts holding it on place. So after we get this, we're gonna go ahead and jump on the serpentine belt. Okay, let me show you right here on this side, passenger side. You got the tensioner right there. Okay, take a peek right there. You see that nut right here where my finger is at? That's the bolt to remove the belt. You're gonna need a 15mm wrench. We're gonna do pressure that way to remove the the belt, I'm sorry. From there on, we're gonna see what else we gotta do. But one quick thing I forgot to say. Before we remove the belt, we're gonna have to remove the fan. Okay, and removing the fan is not too easy task to do, but it's doable. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this top stuff off and I'll come back to that part right there, and I'm gonna show you how to remove the fan. Okay, so we're gonna do this real quick and I'll be right back. All right guys, so this is how far I got in a couple of seconds. Took the hose off. You can twist it and bend it that way and hook it up somewhere over there out the way, but you still got to remove it from the water pump. Okay, but I did that in order for me to pull the fan cover off. Okay, but we still got to remove it from there. Now you see, this is the part I was talking about. You got to remove the fan, and the way I do it is I get me a big enough adjustable wrench that will go over the big nut, and get a slash hammer and top it enough to break it loose, and then it's gonna come out of there. Now that's pretty much it, and well, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm about to take this off. After that, we're gonna go jump on the belt, take the rest of the hoses off, and we should be pretty much there, taking but to be able to take the water pump off. So give me 1 second, let me get ready and I'll be right back. Look at this is big enough. Okay, you just gotta go over the fan nut right there, and I'm gonna get the slash hammer and knock it really quick, and that's it. So look, just a couple of taps, enough to break it loose. Okay, remember, the water pump is not good, so it doesn't matter how bad you knock it. Okay, as long as you break it loose, that's pretty much what we care. That's what we're replacing. Okay, the water pump. So even if we did a damage to the bearing inside, that wouldn't be too big of a deal, because we are replacing it. So now you see, you turn, after you break it, it's gonna come out by itself. So we got it right here. Okay, now we're gonna jump on removing the belt real quick. Now we'll take the use of a 15mm wrench. You can just break it loose. Now we're gonna need to remove the other hoses, which one is right here. Sometimes these clamps can give you a little headache, but just patient, we can get it done. Okay, now one thing I forgot to mention, make sure you have a pan under there so you don't make a mess in your floors. We got a big pan down there. It's pretty much impossible to catch everything, but we do the best we can, okay? So we got one hose out the way. We're going to remove this one right here too. This is the one that's gonna spit the most of the antifreeze, since it's the bottom radiator hose, okay? Make sure that the pan is pretty much lining up with that one right there. Don't do this while it's hot, okay? Because we had this car running for a minute. I don't know if you can see the steam, but it's still steamy. Before we take it loose from there, make sure you take the two heater hoses loose from the water pump. I'm gonna show you right here. All you need is the flat that we said at the beginning you're gonna need. You're gonna need to remove this clamp, that clamp, take these two hoses off, and then we could remove the tensioner from the water pump while it's in here, but it's more accessible to do it while the pump is outside. So that's the way I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna go ahead and replace it right here, so we'll do it outside while we have it on our hand, you know, on the cart. So this is the last two things we gotta do before removing the water pump. And as you can see, it takes 3 10mm bolts to remove it. Yeah, actually you can see the steam right there. Now it takes 3 10mm bolts on each side. You do not have to remove this idle pulley, because you can tell that you have enough space to get the 3 bolts right there. So we'll go ahead and take these 2 hoses off, and I'll be back once I have the pump out, okay? Give me 1 sec. All right, guys, so as you can see, I got this pump. This is the new pump, came from Advanced Auto Parts. Part number DriveWorks 58-562. That's the new pump. You can tell they're identical. What we gotta swap from there is gonna be the thermostat housing to the new pump. We gotta swap the tensioner, belt tensioner to the new pump assembly. You have 3 15mm bolts to take off right here. We're gonna swap them and put them right here. The 2 10mm hole in the thermostat housing, it should go right here. One thing I would like to say, make sure that you put a little bit of silicone right here where the new gaskets mount onto the pump. That way they will stay in place while you're trying to put it on the engine. Now another thing I like to do is I like to stick the bolts through the holes. That keeps them gaskets lined up to the holes where they're supposed to be. So that's the way I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna go ahead and swap everything on and be ready, okay? Now, one thing is really necessary to do is clean the spots where the new gaskets are gonna go, okay? This cannot be reused just like it is. Get you a wire brush or something and clean it up really good right there, because you need a clean surface in order for the gasket to seal real good, okay? So give me a second and I will be back. All right, guys, so we got this new pump ready to go in the car. You got 3 bolts on this side, 3 bolts on that side. Like I said, I like to keep them like that so the gaskets can be aligned up, okay? So we will have no struggles dropping it or whatever like that. I got pretty decent cleaned up over there. It's not the best I can do, but anyways, that's how it's gonna go. That's why I got a little gasket make it on top of it. And so we are going to install this thing. Just stay with me right here and I will show you what I'll be doing. All right, you're gonna need the socket on your hand in order to drive the bolts in a little bit, okay? So that's what we're gonna do right now. I'm gonna come down here and we are going to drive. Don't touch, do not put the pump all the way in the back, because that's gonna push the bolts out So if you push the bolts out, that means the gasket can be moved. You know what I'm saying? So hold it like maybe at least half of an inch away from the engine until you drive every single bolt in a little bit, okay? That's what I'm doing right now. I got it separated from the engine, okay? In order for me not to push the bolts out. That way the gasket can stay in place, being held by the bolts. You see, I'm driving all 6 bolts by hand. A little bit. That's all you gotta do, a little bit. In order to know that you got it right in place, okay? Give me 1 second now. I'm gonna bring you in here for 1 second. All right, you see? I was holding the pump separated from the engine in order for me to drive all 6 bolts in there. That way you know the gaskets are in place. And if I do this right now, slide it back, the pump is right where it's supposed to be. So now we're gonna get this bolts tightened up, put everything back together. Remember, you got 2 little hoses, 2 heater hoses right there. You got a big hose coming up down from the radiator to the pump, and we can go ahead and start putting everything back together. So what I'll do, I'm gonna leave it right here, and I'm gonna come back while I got everything back in place and show you the final product. So give me 1 second and I'll be back with that. Alrighty guys, so this is the final product. Now another thing I like to do when I do any of these jobs is I like to replace all the hose clamps, at least the radiator hoses clamps, okay? That's why you see a new one right here and 2 new ones on the water pump. I'm gonna see if I can look at it right there. Yep, right here where my finger is at. You can tell I got new clamps. All we gotta do now is put coolant back in it, and we should be done with this job. So what I'm gonna do is call it done, and you gotta, you know, let it room for a minute and stuff. You know, let it get hot, make sure that you have no leaks. But that could be really a common sense, you know, to do after you do any job. Make sure, double check it that your job was done right. So this was how to replace the water pump 2003 Cadillac Escalade 6.0. And if you find this video helpful, don't forget, like it, share if you know somebody might need this information. But the main thing is subscribe to the channel, as we got more videos coming. As always guys, be blessed. All right, may God bless us all. So have a great day. We'll catch you on the next one.